Content warning. The following show contains smoking, discussions of fictitious language, possible hot takes on something very, very popular. So if you hear something that you don't like, well, it's just opinion. And if you identify with some of the stuff that we talk about in a negative way, please understand that you're not being attacked. You're being seen and challenged to interact with. That being said, your discretion is advised. You think you're going to be getting crap today? Well, it's possible. It is very, very possible. Oh, we'll see how all that stuff comes down, right? Right. Start the music. Wrong music. Hey everybody, how you doing out there? This is Solar Gray, the Cinematic Sorcerer, coming at you from the Wizard's Tower. And today we are doing a lot, so much so that I find that I'm going to have to multitask because, yeah, we are getting into some more stuff, all right? So, welcome to the dark side of the room. This is the show where we talk about games, gaming culture, interacting with other people. There's a whole lot of game stuff, and who knows? Stick around. You might even get a little life coaching on accident. But that being said, I'm Solar Gray, the Cinematic Sorcerer, and this week we are continuing our never-ending journey into new games and challenging our own boundaries. So join me today as what are you going to do, Solar? What boundaries are you challenging? Well, I have gone in and finally decided to learn Warhammer 40k. I'm starting at 10th edition, and I'm only doing combat patrols and stuff like that. So we will get into that during the show. However, this is a big one, okay? If you like what you see here, you get any value out of what you see here, I appreciate that. I'm just gonna beg, all right? This is just it. I'm begging for you guys to maybe buy some merch, throw me a donation, head over to the Patreon, all that stuff that is being put right there. If you're watching on YouTube, which is a possibility, guys, like, share, subscribe. So real talk, this is like a real thing, and we don't get political on this channel very hard or very often unless there's no way to talk about the subject without getting a little bit political. But YouTube, the master of the algorithm, hates long form content, okay? And this show is always a minimum of an hour long. All right, so like it, subscribe it, share it, let Mr. Algorithm know that I'm a decent guy and I'm not out here trying to recruit people to some sort of cult. I'm not out here like pushing hate crimes or anything. I just want to talk about games and for people to be nice to each other, and we can all grow a big community because I was the fat kid in my neighborhood and mostly everybody else were athletes, so you do the math. All right, so now that we got all that out there, if you guys want to get a hold of me or any of that stuff, like some people do, there are a couple of ways. You can hit me up on the Discord. You can also hit me up over at backinthedeck@gmail.com. That's BACKINTHEDECK at gmail.com. You can also, that's right, there's multiple ways. Hit me up on Instagram at backinthedeck, same at Twitter. also at Back in the Deck. And you're like, wow, is he on all the social medias? I have to. This is what I do for a living. And truth, I'm not very good at it. So there. You can also hit me up on TikTok. um, yeah, TikTok at BidP. That is BIDPY. And of course, if you are part of that wretched hive of scum and villainy known as Facebook, you can, oh, what can you do? You can totally head over to Facebook, look up Deckers on the Book. That right there, guys, is our community on the YouTubes. All right, so that is what we got. That is where we are. All right, so hang on. Let me just. Oh, my mouse is all over the place today. So yeah, and again, if you guys are out here in LA, hit me up. You know, I would love to have a cup of coffee with you and all that stuff. I'm gonna put an invitation up to the Discord to see if it's working. Peace. There we go. So since we got a few people in here, I want to say, hey, I'm about to send out the real big announcement of, hey, I'm live right now. So yeah, that's what we're doing. So as I said, this is a lot of stuff that we're doing. Woo! And today, all right. So I want to talk about a couple of things. All right, couple of things that we're going to talk about before we get on to the main thing. All right. As you guys know, I have been working to learn the Warhammers and the 40Ks. You know, the Warhammer 40K. I'm starting off with 10th edition. And everything that Games Workshop put up to download except for the data cards for the armor, I've downloaded. I have a nice little file. And I know you guys haven't met me in real life, but know this. I have a problem. And the problem that I have is I make a lot of folders. I mean, seriously, I try and have a folder for every game that I play so I can just pick up with the game and get to it. Okay, that is how I roll. That is one of the major things that I put out there. So I literally came in, put together my combat patrol box. I don't know, and I mean this, I seriously don't know if I'm doing a folder for 40K proper. Okay, guys, we'll see how the combat patrol thing goes, because a lot of my friends that play this stuff, they're like, oh man, yeah, well, what if you do this? And this is one of the things I want to talk about. Okay, because a lot of my friends don't quite get what this experiment is, and I want to clear up what this experiment is, how I'm going about learning this, and what is good about this. But first, I gotta let them know that I'm here. Boop, 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 doop, boop, doop, doo. Yeah. So as I was saying, the stuff that I'm doing with this, I want to make it very clear, because a lot of gamers are stuck very much in a mind prison that I talk about all the time. Do not feel attacked, all right? Let me get away from your keyboards for a minute. I really want to address this thing. So as I said, when I first announced this project for the week, all the way back on Monday, all right, I am planning on learning the rules for Warhammer 40K. Gotta learn the rules, okay? Gonna learn the rules, and I have. Ooh, hang on a minute. Oops. Yeah, great. My phone has popped up with the show as it's happening. This is crazy. All right. Um, I have the rules. Um, However, the thing that really got me was the combat patrol boxes, and I'll tell you guys why. Um, there is a lot to this game. 40K seems to be, and I really mean this more than anything else. This seems to be the most complex miniatures game that's out on the market and is popular. All right, this seems to be, and I'm saying seems to be because I don't have this as gospel. I don't know if this is true, but I will say that this is the most complex, even though they simplified it. This is the most complex minis game I have tried to learn since BattleTech in the 90s. All right. There's a lot to this. And I think I kind of understand the why of it, which those clever bastards. um, but here's the thing of it. This is the balance of it. I'm not a one game guy. I am so polyamorous when it comes to games, as it were. All right. I'm like, yeah, let's do all the games all the time. Right? So, um, but one thing I've noticed, especially with tabletop miniatures games, this is a big one. This is a really, really big one. Um, I talk a lot about the game behind the game. Okay, we have the game behind the games. No matter what game it is you think you're playing, I love using blackjack as an example. All right, in blackjack, most people say, "Yeah, I know how to play blackjack." Um, you get two cards. Um, yeah, you get two cards, and the dealer deals you cards. Each card has a value, and you're trying to get to 21. Okay, and those are the basics. Okay, those are the basic six of the basics of the basics. All right. However, that's not the real game. Because I've never seen blackjack played outside of a casino setting. Sometimes that casino setting was a charity where there wasn't any real money won, and I was very upset because I thought I was getting real money, but that is neither here nor there. All right. But within the setting of blackjack, the only place you can really play that game is a casino of some kind. All right. So, is the point of the game to get to 21? Not if you're paying every hand. Okay. If you have money to win, then the point of the game isn't to get to 21. It is to help the dealer lose. If the dealer busts, or if the dealer stops taking cards and has a pretty high hand, but it's still lower than yours, and you haven't busted, then you win. That's the game behind the game. If the dealer busts, the whole table wins. And everybody gets paid, and everybody's happy, everybody's free. Keep the big door open, everyone will come around. And see, when it comes to most tabletop miniatures game, within competitive environments, whether it's an official tournament or people who mainly only play at official tournaments, crafting the way they play for the next tournament, or just they've only ever played in tournaments. So when it comes to the way they play, that's it. It's always whack. And a lot of folks think that they're casual gamers. And in their hearts, they are. All right? They're casual gamers within their hearts. All right? They're not trying to win, but their crafting style, or they're not trying to decimate and do all that stuff, but their playing style was developed within a circumstance that that forced that paradigm. And this is a very important thing, and I mean this is a very important thing to understand. So, what happens is when you talk to people about games, they talk within that paradigm, even though their heart might not be there. Okay, this is where we get the three main types of gamers: the Timmy, the Johnny, and the Spike. And I managed to stay a Johnny, which is someone that's like, hey, I like playing fluff. I like playing casual. All right. I really I'm a real casual player. And when I play casual, I don't care about winning. I don't care about decimating. I just want to put my cool little figures on the board and go pew pew, win or lose, as long as I get to play. All right. But I spent a lot of time around spikes. So my playing style, regardless of what I intend, um, tends to lean more toward either playing as a spike or surviving spikes. Okay? Not playing as one, but putting together my teams to survive them. And that's the thing. With a spike, with competitive play, especially with tabletop miniatures games, the game isn't won on the table. It's won in the list building. Okay? That is a really important thing to understand. You win the game at home before you get around another player. And when this comes out, this is where people start talking about and sometimes complaining about game balance and stuff. But having been a gamer for such a long time, with so many different games and so many different environments, anything that is competitive has eventually or has an eventual efficiency gap. There are going to be just some bad matchups. So some of the best games try and minimize that. And I get it. I totally get that. There are different techniques. There are different methods. Now, all that being said, since the game is won in the build, I'm learning 40K within the context of the combat patrol boxes only. All right. I'm not doing the point calculations for the teams to build a list of 500 points. I'm not putting together 500 point teams to play. I'm not playing against anybody that puts together a 500 point team. It is going to be only combat patrol. Now, if that means I have no one to play with, I get that. Okay. But guess what? I teach and I build communities. So, and if I can't find anybody to play the combat patrol for 40K, cool. I still got Grimdark Future or Carnivale or Dead Zone or Gaslands or any of the other games that are in my library. Okay. Because I don't want to fall back into that culture. So what we're doing today and for the rest of the week is learning 40K with the intention to only play combat patrol. That is it. That is all. If I go anywhere else, I may play Gallo Dark, but putting together a 2,000 point army and playing a 2,000 point army with people who cut their teeth on being at tournaments, sorry, that's not where I'm going with this. Because one of my favorite YouTubers, one of my favorites, especially in regards to this, Discourse Miniatures, she dropped a video just this morning. Okay, seriously, just this morning, with the complaints from competitive players about the new edition. Her problems with the team building mechanic, and of course the words that are used are, people that want to do this are punished, and I don't like that talk. I don't like dealing with that. I don't like being in that paradigm. I want to play some games. I want to have some fun. I want to go pew 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 pew. Okay, now what do you want to do? And if I can spend a weekend playing a bunch of Combat Patrol games, dude, I am with it. I am so in. If I can play a couple of games of Combat Patrol, a couple of games of Grimdark Future, a couple of games of Alpha Strike, then that is a good weekend. Okay. But am I going to put together a 2,000 point army? No. Okay. Once I stopped working at game stores, this was the play style for most games that have a tournament scene that I decided to take about. Okay. This is a big one. This is a really big one because, and I can thank HeroClix for that. Once they started releasing their fast forces, I'm like, this is how I want to play because I don't want to buy everything. I don't even want to print everything. I want what is cool in my visual circuits, and I don't want to have to keep up with a meta. I don't want to have to deal with players that feel punished if I figure out a way past their master plan. And as much as I want to teach sportsmanship courses, most people think that they are good sports, and then when I show them that they're not, if they're from Orange County, California, they won't get violent, but they will. Well, they won't get physically violent, but they'll get socially violent and fiscally violent. So I don't want to deal with that. I just want to play some games. Let's see. Neon Arlecchino. Hey, Neon, you're here. So let's take a look at something real quick. Let's see. I'm thinking of when Nagus got messed with by the warp entities. I guess you mean Magnus. Beetle snuff, fun for you and me, but not so fun for the beetle. Tournament play is fun for you and me, but not so fun. Exactly, not so much fun for the newbie. And I'm taking this from the standpoint of the newbie. And here's the really important thing, y'all. I talk all the time about how teaching is a skill. It is a skill. Oh, the Grand Nagus from Star Trek. Okay, thank you. I talk all the time, and I do mean this all the time, about how teaching is a skill. It's a skill that has to be developed, and it has to be practiced. Okay? This is why a lot of teachers are amazing and others not so much. So all that being said, if you guys are wondering what I'm doing, I'm working on my Eldar box set. Because again, like I said, I want to every time I try and teach anyone any game or anything on how to play, they're like, I want to play the elves. And I'm like, oh, I don't like elves, but they like elves. So if I'm going to teach them, I got to meet them where they are. So yeah, I want to put that out there because I was talking to one of my ride or dies, and he just kept talking to me within the context of building 500-point teams. And I'm like, no, as soon as team building comes up, I fall into the exact same stuff that I tend to fall into with other games because I only have a limited player pool, and that player pool is Southern California. All right. Everybody wants to be Kobe. Everybody wants to be Jordan. Everybody wants to be LeBron. Everybody even wants to be Steph Curry. I just want to play a pickup game. And that's the only place I'm going. I'm not about breaking the game. I'm not about showing how clever I am. I just want to go pew-pew with these things. So, that being said, we're going to look at the rules. And again, since I am of what Zen players or Zen masters call new mind, I'm brand new to this. I'm going to look at the rules. I'm going to give my opinion on what I think they are. If I get hyped or excited, it's genuine. I'm genuinely hyped and genuinely excited about what I'm looking at. Okay? And I'm looking at it with a new mind, not compared to what everything used to do, not from the standpoint of this will be able to win at tournaments, therefore it is good, or I haven't cracked the code to the combo for this, therefore it isn't good. None of that. All right? I'm looking at this game, Warhammer 40K Combat Patrol, strictly on the merits of playing it for the sake of it. All right? That is literally the whole thing. Now, if I end up playing Combat Patrol and I enjoy it, like I enjoy it a lot, and I get inspired to build teams, then that will be a whole nother journey. All right? But I'm looking at this for what it is and not as other people are looking at it as a new way for Games Workshop to soak us for money, which it is. And as a veteran player and a tournament player, how can I hammer fist this into being for me, even though I'm not from the market? Because since it falls within my line of sight, I feel like they're demanding my money, and I want maximum return on investment because they've screwed me so many times before. And I get the hurt feelings. I haven't been screwed by Games Workshop because I watched them screw so many people and I never got involved. And that's the thing. The only time I'm probably going to spend money on a Games Workshop product is if I really like the sculpt, or if it's like just a board game, like Space Hulk or something. I do dig Space Hulk. I think it's a fun game. So, and this is the part in the comments where people start listing off the board games from Games Workshop, the Space Marine board game, blah, 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 Necromunda. And no, I'm not going Kill Team either. Okay? At least for now. All right? So that's a big thing. I wanted to put all that out there. And yeah, I literally just did like a 20-minute disclaimer because I feel it's necessary that I put my intentions out there. Yeah, Twilight Imperium, really cool game. So yeah, so that's the whole thing. So with all that being said, I want to look at the Combat Patrol team abilities within Combat Patrol. Now, one of the things I've noticed, and yeah, I try not to compare it to games like Grimdark Future and Grimdark Firefight because that's where I'm at. But I don't want to play that. If I wanted to play that, I'd play that. But one thing that definitely separates it from the people that are like, well, OPR is just trying to copy them. No, not really. One thing I noticed was there are a lot of, I guess, what players call shenanigans in this game. In Warhammer 40K, it's not just stats, weapons, roll dice, okay? The game behind this game, outside of the team building, one of the aspects of this game that is interesting to me, and I say interesting, not that I am interested and I want a part of it, but, so that's how they differentiate, is everything has a rule somewhere that cancels out one of the main rules, okay? So today we are going to talk about the army rules in Combat Patrol, and I guess they are a reflection. And when I say army, I mean faction. The faction special abilities in 40K Combat Patrol. All right. Tomorrow, if I don't get called in to work, we'll go over the commander, or if there's enough time today, we'll go over the commander rules as well, because in Combat Patrol, there's really the commander and all that stuff. I don't need to look at the index cards for every single faction and then review the special attachment rules, I think they are, or detachment rules. No, enhancements. I don't want to look at the enhancements for every single commander for the Space Marines. All right. God, the Ultramarines have like 1,000 commanders, and I'm not going to go over all that in one show today. We're only doing Combat Patrol. All right. So we are going to start right over here. With, and literally we're going to go through all 24. So get comfy. We're going to be here a while. All right. Let's head over to this. So we've got the Adeptus Mechanicus. I love these guys. Love these guys. I love the way they look. You know, love the hair, love the face, love the whole it. Just love the whole it. I don't know what half of these things are, but that guy looks so cool. You know, the Cataphragm Destroyer, he just looks so cool. I like the way he looks, all right? That's the whole thing. Which means I'm probably going to end up with a Mechanicus army because, you know, transhumanism rocks. So, let's take a look. Manipul Verask Alpha. Manipul Verask, Manipul? I don't know, but it reminds me of body parts that I have as a man. Let's see. The datasheets required to use Manipul Verask Alpha can be found on the following pages and are designed exclusively for Combat Patrol games. Okay, let's see here. Let's just go through this. So this is Doctrina Imperatives. At the start of the battle round, you can select one of the Doctrina Imperative below. Okay. All right, that's good. Let's see. Until the end of the battle round. Wait, at the start of the battle round? The battle or the round? I think it's the battle as in the whole fight. Until the end of the battle round, it is active. Oh, it is. Yeah. Okay. So let's see here. You can select one of the Doctrina Imperatives below. Until the end of that round, that thing is active for your army, and all units from your army have it. Okay. So let's take a look. Protector Imperative. Range weapons equipped by models in this unit hang on. Battle round. All units from your army that okay, cool. So Protector Imperative. Range weapons equipped by models in this unit have the heavy ability. Nice. Oh, Manipul. Like manipulate. Thank you, Xenothades. Thank you so much. Manipul as in Ferrus Manus, the silliest name. It is so silly. Now, let's take a quick look at the heavy rule. Okay, I want to see what the heavy rule is. So that, you know, we have, you know, well, you know, I'm a really big fan of knowing what I'm looking at. And in playing a lot of these games, there are going to be lots of referencing, right? So, heavy, shoot, lethal hits. Add 1 to hit rolls if the bearer's unit remains stationary. Okay, all right, I can live with that. Let's see. Link for the people who want the lyrics to sing along. Okay, so the link to this is, hang on here, I have to pull up the link because I have all this stuff saved to the hard drive. But yeah, sillier than Corvus Corax. Exactly. You know, I don't mind the lion, but you know, naming someone Crow, yeah. It's in there above. Oh, it's in the thing? It's actually in the starter rules? Thank you. Thank you very much, Cthulhu. Let's see. I'm not seeing it. However, a friend of mine sent me a while ago. He sent me the link for everything. And I shall find it. And then I'll put it in here. And then you guys can download it and sing along, I guess. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we're looking over here. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. I'm the alligator, man. There we go. Okay. Whee! Here we go, guys. Paste. Boom. There you go. The link to follow all this stuff. Oh, it's here. All right. Thanks, Cthulhu. And I'm going to post it here as well. So if you guys are watching on YouTube and all that other stuff, just follow that link. And yeah, and now you'll have all the same information that I do. And if you're already a 40K player, you can play all of this stuff on your own. Make up these combat patrols out of the basic stuff in the lesson, or in the stuff, and teach your 14-year-old nephew, which is what I think this is for. So let's take a look. All right. Conqueror Imperative. I once named a gnome Norrell Norris. Yeah, you know what? As much as I want to keep running on those jokes, Across the Spider-Verse did it better when he talked about how Americans call chai tea. It's like, yeah, do you go for your coffee with cream? You know, well, I put sugar, but you know, that's me. Haha. Anyway, let's see. Next, the Conqueror Imperative. Range weapons equipped by this model in the units have assault. Each time a model... Oh, it says the definition right there. You know what? Well played, Games Workshop. Well played. So yeah, it gives the rule right there. All right, so the Conqueror Imperative. And you know what? Since they're here, yeah, let's just cover the page 3 of all of the ones. We're doing page 3 because the army rules and the commander rule is right here. So why not? All right. So each time a model makes a ranged attack, if the target of that attack is within your opponent's deployment zone, the armor penetration of that characteristic gets a +1. What? Nice. So it's like, hey, guess what? I see you sitting back there. Now, I see you. All right, guess what? This really long range thing, like this walker that's sitting here, yeah, it's going to shoot you at home. You know, I think I'll call this one the Warrior's Imperative. Not because Adeptus Mechanicus is known for being all cool, but because it's more like, warriors, come out to play. And if anybody plays the Adeptus Mechanicus against me, they're going to hear that over and over when they use that Doctorum. Not because I'm trying to get them to not do it, but it sounds like fun. All right, who we got here? Somebody wrote me a book. Favorite superhero character story from an RPG. All right. Cool. So, and moving on. Let's see. Now, enhancements. What I'm noticing about these enhancements, okay, is that each leader gets to choose one of two, which is cool. I like the idea of playing your army one way, one time, and then another way, another time. So that is really neat. Let's take a look here. The Tech Priest Engine Seer. You know what? I read the Night Vale trilogy from Brent Weeks, so I am not going to get on anyone about their naming conventions because I read the Night Vale books. I've seen worse. Okay. Let's see here. Is your warlord? I'm guessing that means leader, like Warcaster and all that stuff. So the leader, the commander, the general, the head honcho, the head nerd in charge. That's right, the HNIC, the head nerd in charge. All right. And since he is a tech priest, that means he's a serious nerd. Like nerd. I see a big white guy going nerd. Okay. And it has the Omniballistic Data Teether enhancement. You can replace this with the imperative Surge Wafer. A Surge Wafer. It is wafer thin. Let us see. Each time the Burrs unit is selected to shoot, you can re-roll 1 to hit roll. Okay, and you can re-roll 1 wound roll when the general, the HNIC, the mega nerd, the boss, when good old Bruce Springsteen over here makes an attack, is it a ranged attack? Shoot, yeah. Every time the boss here is selected to shoot, um, you can re-roll everything. So let's see, re-roll everything, and in case you really get it, you can probably still use a command point. So that is kind of neat. I like the neatness on that. Let me think. All right, cool. Yeah, got all that. All right. Now, what's the alternative? Or you get the imperative Silge Waffle. It is waffle thin. That is, if you roll all ones, your tech priest explodes into a bunch of pre-chewed and swallowed food all over your restaurant, and you get to walk with a waiter to the house that they grew up in. So yeah, if you know, you know. Anyhow, um, let's see here. Once per battle, when the bearer's unit is selective to shoot, it can use this ability. All right, so if the bearer's unit, so I'm guessing that means if he's alone or if she's connected to a unit. Mm. Um, if it does until the end of the phase, ranged weapons equipped by this model in the bearer's unit has the precision ability. Nice. Very nice. Okay, all right, that is very cool. So precision, I do remember this one, is the ability to target a specific model. All right. So you can tell all your boys with all their guns to shoot Rob. Just him. I don't care if he's commanding a freaking a 10-man unit of Space Marines, he's going down. And all of us are using all of our weapons to take him. Just want him. Okay. All right, that's actually pretty cool. And considering they can use the Protector imperative or the Conqueror imperative, along with that, that's not bad. All right, I'm really kind of digging that. That's kind of cool. So that's the Adeptus Mechanicus leader. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Like I said, we're doing all of them, and I don't want to be here all night. So let's go on to the ladies. Okay, this one is for the ladies. But before we go on, I am gonna say, yeah. So it's very clear, just by those rules, that the AdMech, as the cool kids call them, those guys are a ranged army. It's shooty shooty bang bang, OU shooty shooty bang bang. At least the combat patrol. Is that the taste for the entire army? Don't know, don't care. Not gonna play the rest of the army. That's kind of the point of this experiment. But it is good for shooting, and the models in the box look really cool. And that's all I care about. All right, so yeah. But shooty shooty, the whole, excuse me. Yeah, so getting the whole, hang on, stop that. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, making it so everyone in the army can do those two particular things. That seems fun. That seems really fun. And really put out there. Somebody keeps messaging me on Facebook. Uh, Hang on just a minute. Who is reaching out? Is it important? Okay. Bing, 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 bing. Bing, bing, and bing, bing. Okay. So, with all that, let's take another look. All right. So yeah. So with these guys, all right. As I said, the models look really cool. I'm really happy. Yeah. So this is a OU shooty shooty bang bang. All right. Cool. So let's let's talk about the ladies. This one. All right. So penitent, the penitent host. The penitent host kneels before the God Emperor. Kneel. Okay. I will probably see the new one. I got to get these girls painted up too. All right. So the abilities: Acts of Faith. They can perform an act of faith. Oh, miracle dice. Yeah. Let's take a look. At the start of each turn, each time an Adepta Sororitas unit from your army is destroyed. Okay, so you gain 1 miracle dice at the start. Okay, if your army faction is Adepta Sororitas, you gain 1 miracle die at the start of each turn. Okay. Turn or round? Probably round. Because let's see. It would probably say at the beginning of each command phase. I don't know. Let me know if you guys have played this and you get it. Or each time an Adepta Sororitas unit from your army is destroyed. It's a miracle. She's dead. She's dead. It's a miracle. I am the Messiah. Well, only she who is the Messiah can deny her own divinity. You know? Let's see. What else? Each time you get a miracle die, roll 1d6. The number you roll is the value of that miracle dice. This value cannot be changed, re-rolled, unless a rule specifically states otherwise. Keep your miracle dice to one side. Put them over there. Okay. This is your miracle dice pool. Performing an act of faith. Here we go. So when the party of the first part rolls a miracle dice, then the party of the second part then takes note of the party of the first dice's part of the. Again, this is such a legal document. Before making a roll for the model or unit from your army, if the party of the first part or if the party of the first part has 1 or more dice in its miracle dice pool, that unit can perform an act of faith. If the party of the first part performs an act of faith, select 1 of the dice from the party of the first part's miracle dice pool. Substitute that dice roll. If a roll involves more than 1 dice, like a charge roll or a battle shock test, only a single dice may be substituted. Okay, so let's see if we can apply this practically. All right, let's see if we have a practical application here. Okay, all of my tech is just acting so weird today. All right, so let's take a look. All right, I want to take a look at this. So let's say I want to roll a charge roll. I need a 9 to charge. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I need to roll a 9 to charge. All right, let's get that dice roller up here. Isn't that fun? That is so cool. All right, so I need a 9 to charge. Let's make the roll. I got a 5, a 2, and a 3. So if I had a miracle die, oh, wait a second. So, yeah, so if I had a miracle die and I didn't feel like using the command points, I could change out 1 of the dice for the 6, which gives me a 9 exactly. But let's say I use a command point to reroll. Oh, that sucked. Okay, I think I get it. And given this particular model, it doesn't seem all that powerful. And when I say all that powerful, I mean like game breaking. You know, it doesn't seem super game breaking. All right. Each miracle die can only be selected for substitution once. Once all miracle die, hang on. The dice that is being substituted is not rolled. Instead, the value of the selected miracle die is used as if it had been rolled. This counts as an unmodified dice roll of that value for all rules purposes. Each miracle die can only be selected for substitution once. Once all miracle dice substitutions have been made, remove all the chosen miracle dice, all of the Anakins, because it was the chosen one, from your miracle dice pool, and roll all remaining unsubstituted dice that part of the dice roll. You can use Miracle Dice when a unit performs an act of faith for any of the following dice roll: advance, battle shock, charge, damage, hit, saving throw, wound. It would have been a lot easier if they said what you can't use it for. You can't use it for craps. You can't use it for making a sandwich. You can't use it to speed up the other player's turn. Okay, so let's see what these ladies get here. All right, so your Canoness. It is the Canoness. Hello, Canoness. Is your warlord and has the Armor of Faith enhancement. Now, what is the armor of... Oh, hey, old Two Eyes. Let's see. Yeah, you can swap a die you rolled for a miracle dice you already rolled, but that's too simple for GW rules writers, right? Like I said, if the party of the first part, believe me, never mind. Let's see here. Armor of Faith. The bearer has the Feel No Pain 4+ ability. In addition, while the bearer is leading a unit, other models in that unit have the Feel No Pain of 5. Okay. All right. So you get your regular armor save, then your Feel No Pain, and then quite possibly your invulnerable. All right. All right, that's actually not bad. That's not bad. And Saintly Relic. Ooh, yeah, give her something to hit people with. Let's see. In your command phase, if the bearer is not battle shocked and within range of an objective marker that you control, you gain 1 miracle die. Oh! In addition, while the bearer is on the battlefield, each time you gain a miracle die, you can re-roll that miracle. Miracle dice cannot be re-rolled unless you have Saintly Relic. Okay. So, let's see. So if this bearer is not battle shocked. All right, so you get a miracle die at the beginning of the turn, when your people die, and when this Canoness is near an objective. Cool. Cool. That's very cool. So that means come turn 2, turn 3, you're going to have a lot of miracle dice if you just sit on and bank them. And then it's like, yeah, well, guess what? I've survived this long. And now, shenanigans time. Ha ha ha, ha ha ho ho, ho ho ha, ha 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 ho. And that actually seems kind of cool. I like what I'm seeing there. All right. So what are we looking at? Well, the army rule of the Adeptus Sororitas looks like it comes down to one major thing. Hey, you want to play a dice game? Cool. I'm going to cheat. I'm cheating at a dice game. I'm rolling it reminds me of Divination from 5th edition D&D. I'm just going to roll these dice over here and I'm going to keep them. And it's like, all right, well, you can either be a jerk about it in flavor and go, no, I rolled this. Or, Lord, oh, you are so big, so absolutely huge. I could use this particular number for that die. Oh, holy Lord. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lordy Lord. So, And so, yeah, exactly. Divination, lucky, fear, halfling species. Exactly. Thinking they list what you can use it for, future-proof, the rule. Wow, y'all have a lot of things to say on this. Hang on. Xanathades is here saying they list what you can use it for to future-proof the rule. If you have rolls A, B, C, D, and E, and it says you can't use them for C and D, well then, when a rule updates creates a roll F, it's not excluded from the Miracle Dice rule. You know, I hear you on that. But the other thing I'm hearing is they don't want to pay a dude to write one more line when they update the rule in 3 or 4 months. I mean, you know, there are erratas out for this stuff from what I hear. Yeah, the definition stuff. GM is 3 ways to tell the GM you're being replaced. Yeah, exactly. This is why I generally don't let those combinations in my tabletop games because, you know, I don't want my player going, look at me, look at me, look at me. I'm the GM now, but only when I feel like being the GM. And I'm like, okay, fine. You want to play that combination? Cool. You write the plot for the next 4 games. Okay, you do that. All right, so let's move on. So yeah, the Adeptus Sororitas is essentially um let me double check. Armor of Faith. So survive longer. Okay. So it's survive longer, or I'm gonna generate more dice to cheat with. That's what it seems like. And again, I'm not exactly against that. So yeah, that seems interesting. I know for a fact I'm gonna have some Battle Sisters players that are coming up later on. Um, so let's move on to the next booklet. Okay, next booklet. Hang on, I got a thing blocking my screen here. That's no longer blocking my screen. All right, so yeah, let's move on to the next booklet. The next booklet. All right, let's take a look here. So we are gonna go to yeah. So before we move on to the next book, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this because it bears being said. I am not the biggest fan of this faction, and no matter what I do, every single time I put together a game day, somebody wants to do this. So if you guys are going with me and you're reading along, and it's in alphabetical order, you know what's coming. Let's take a look. The Eldar. Cthulhu was right there. Elves, exactly. Okay, now don't get me wrong. I'm literally painting up my proxies for this army as we speak. That's why I've been looking down this episode, okay? I'm not using Wind Riders because I didn't have that much. I didn't really, deal with that. So I'm using Hellions from Dark Eldar as my Wind Riders because I like counts as. But yeah. But every time I have someone over, I'm like, yeah, you can choose this, you can choose that, you can choose this. And people are like, I like the elves. And I'm like, ugh, I don't have elves. Well, I have elves now. For the purpose of this experiment, I'm putting together this battle group. All right. So let's take a look at what they do. All right. Fine. Let's see. The Strands of Fate. Because something's changed. I can feel it in the water. Let's take a look here. At the start of the battle, there we go. At the start of the battle, make a Strands of Fate roll by rolling 12d6. If you wish, you can re-roll all 12 of those dice. If you do, roll one less d6. You can continue re-rolling all the dice in this manner, rolling one less d6 each time, until you are satisfied with the result, or until you only have a single d6 remaining. Okay, so you have a sub game where you're just going, I like rolling dice. Yahtzee. All right, let's see. I'll roll 11. 10, 9, 8. You should go make yourself a steak. 8. Okay. Let's see. But why would you do this? All right. When you were satisfied with the results rolled, those remaining dice become your fate dice for the battle. These results cannot be changed or re-rolled further unless a rule specifically states that. This is sounding a lot like Miracle Dice here, guys. Before making a dice roll for a model, it's reverse divine intervention. You swap the die before you roll. Thank you, Old Two Eyes. Let's see here. Yeah, you have one or more dice in your fate pool. You can use one of those fate dice to do so. Select one of those fate dice to substitute that dice roll. The dice that is being substituted is not rolled. Instead, the value of the selected fate dice is blah, blah, blah. Okay. And you can use it for all the same stuff. So, yeah. So, the Battle Sisters are out there singing Bon Jovi because they need a miracle to save them this time. Their savior had just left town. All right. Cause it's like I tried, I failed. Nope, nope, nope. God said I failed. No, God said I succeeded. Yay. Um, where the elves are like, you have already lost. I can feel it in the water. I looked within my pool, which shows the past. It shows things that are, things that were, and some things that have not yet come to pass. So, yeah, Thank you, Xanathates. Oh, I cannot believe I missed that joke. You know, yeah. No, I'm gonna stick with miracles, but you know what? Yeah, that. So the sisters are either halfway there or they need a miracle, where the elves are like, I can see the future and you have already lost. Shut up. If you can see the future, what are you about to say? No, that's not fair. Everybody asked that question. Yeah, everybody asked that question. You're just repeating everything I say. I'm not repeating everything you say. I simply know what is going to happen because I'm pointy-eared and lithe and amazingly obnoxious. It's, again, I like Vulcans, but I'm a Romulan guy too. Anyway, so let's see what the leader can do. Once per turn. Oh, foresight to psychic. Psychic. Yeah, foresight. You know what? I want some 5 sight. Thank you. Yeah, give me some 5 sight. Maybe some 6 sight. 6 sight would be, oh, that would be sick. Anyway, once per turn, you can target the bear's unit with the fire overwatch stratagem for 0 command points. If the bearer's unit is within range of an objective marker you control, the hits are scored on unmodified hit rolls of 4+ while resolving that stratagem. Otherwise, the hits are scored on an unmodified hit roll of 5. Hold up. Hold up. Just hold up. So you're telling me that these elves, if they have this commander and it's connected to, say, a bunch of defenders with guns, they can, if they so choose, do Overwatch once per round for free, and it's better than the Overwatch that you pay for. Is that what I'm hearing right now? Because that sounds like it's what I'm hearing. Let me check Overwatch, because that's a standard stratagem. Let's see here. Fire Overwatch. All right. Target effect. All right. You can shoot. Okay. Restrictions. Until the end of the phase. Each time a model in your unit makes a ranged attack, an unmodified roll of 6. Dude. Zan, you are a serious nerd. And I love you so hard for being the level of nerd you are. That's just, wow. Oh, Two Eyes. No, I don't hate elf players, okay? I really don't. But I don't like pretension. And I don't like snobbery. And I don't care what genre of fiction you deal with. Elves are the harbingers of pretentious snobbery almost as much as the Emperor's children. For I am Fulgrim. But I can deal with Fulgrim because he's an over-the-top anime type snob, I'm expecting him to be sucking on his fingers while pursing his lips the entire time because I cut my teeth watching anime in the 80s and 90s, so if you know, you know. So what I'm looking at is this elf can go, you know what? We're firing Overwatch. Why? Because shut up. All right, just shut up. We're doing Overwatch, and our Overwatch can do stuff like what? Oh, our Overwatch hits on a 4. Oh, well, no, mine hits on a 4. Okay, if I'm buying objective marker. Wait, if the bear's unit isn't. Oh, so we're holding on. Okay, yeah, Dark Sun, that's different, but those are dark elves, and Dark Sun is grimdark D&D. Let's be real, all right? So as I was saying, so if the unit is holding on to an objective and they fire Overwatch for free, then it's like, oh, dude, okay, yeah, it is only one unit and the leader that they're protected there for. So shooty shooty bang bang. All right. So what's the other one? Eldritch Might. Eldritch Might. Yes, I have the might of Eldritch. So essentially, I'm an elf, and my home language is Rach Rach Vertulftachin. Sorry for butchering that pronunciation, but I don't have 9 tongues. All right? I don't have 9 tongues. So I'm giving up. Let's take a look here. Each time the bearer makes a psychic attack, reroll a hit roll of 1. Reroll a wound one of 1. Okay, so you can reroll to hit, reroll to wound, and reroll damage. And this is actually an important thing, because a lot of the spells, because I like casting spells, they don't just have a straight damage rating. It's like, this spell does 1d6 plus 2. This spell does 1d3. So, okay, so if you're going straight up Eldritch Psychic Might, then yeah. If you're going straight up Eldritch Psychic Mighty Might, then you take that one. And if you're going to go shooty shooty bang bang, you take the other one. All right, you know what? I'm with that. I am perfectly fine with that. Especially since, again, I really like the Custodes, and from what I hear, they're really anti-psychic. So looks like these elves are, I have super magical powers. Look at my foresight. Look at my magic. And, oh, you're anti-magic. Well, I saw a movie from Ralph Bakshi once called Wizards. Let me show you a trick I learned when I was young. Boys, brap, 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 brap. Okay, you know what? I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. And I mean that. This is not being facetious. If it's like, if the psychic powers don't work, then yeah, if the psychic powers don't work, I got a gun. Considering in the C24 D&D game I run, my anthropologist did throw a they did cast a level 1 fireball. The spell components are a jar or bottle full of oil or dwarven spirits, 1 rag, 1 flint, and 1 stone. So yeah, and I'm a big fan of that kind of thing. So yeah, that's I can deal with that. So let's move on to the next one. Who's next? Who's next in our list? Well, since we are going alphabetic, let's talk the real boys. Okay, the boys. Astra Militarum. Let's talk grunts. You know, there's a common consensus that if you or I or anyone else lived in the 40K universe, we would probably be Imperial Guard. And I kind of said, you know what? I disagree with that, because I would probably end up working in some manufactorum, and then I would probably sell my soul to chaos. Because it's like, wow, working conditions here suck. I can commit suicide, or, hey, buddy. Hey, what's up? Well, you know, I hear you're saying that working conditions here kind of dumb. Yeah, what if I told you, Neo, that there are places that you can work that give you things like socks? And have you ever been working on a project here in the manufactorum and thought, man, this would be so much easier if I could get someone away from their things. All I could use is an extra set of hands. What if I could guarantee you that extra set of hands? You see, I'm here representing your grandfather, and he loves you. He loves you deeply. But, you know, knowing me, I'd probably end up with a different chaos god, because I like leather. So let's move on here. Yeah, you get one or two models in this box set. Why is there no tank? I was talking to a friend of mine about the whole tank thing, and he looked up the rules and all this, and I'm like, yeah. Old two eyes would be plugged into a wall. I don't know. Given the amount of snark that you're here, that you've shown in the past couple of days, you might actually be floating right next to someone. At least your skull and your spine. That's kind of a thing. And so yeah, yeah. I like where your thought is, Cyber Drake Luca, but I wouldn't end up a rogue trader. Okay, I really wouldn't. I really wouldn't end up a rogue trader. I would, like I said, it would be like, yeah, I really need an extra set of hands. Yes? Oh, hello. I bet I know what you would do with those extra set of hands. You would paint so many more things. First, come with me and we will watch someone put on a play to talk to their younger brother. Yes, So let's see what these guys have. Let's see what the Astra Militarum is up to. The most sympathetic faction in all of 40K. Because, you wake up one morning and they're like, hey, you fight a lot. You fight a whole bunch. I got somewhere for you to fight. Put this on. What, you apes, you want to live forever? Wow, I'm the master of mixed metaphor today. Let's see. Voice of Command. Voice of Command. In your command phase, officer models from your army can with this ability can use issue orders. Each officers, how many officers do you get? Hey Roland, we're talking 40K today because I'm learning how to play. And we're looking at the combat patrol boxes. If you want details, watch all the shows from the rest of the week. They're fun. So, let's see. Each officer's data sheet will specify how many orders it can issue and hang on. Okay. Each time an officer model issues an order, select one of the orders below, then select an eligible friendly unit within 6 inches of that officer model. Okay. Until the start of your next command phase, the unit you selected is affected by that order. Unless otherwise stated, it can only be affected, unless otherwise stated, a unit can only be affected by one order at a time. Subsequently issued to that unit replaces the current one. Any order subsequently. Okay. All right. So you can only give a unit one order, but if you give them a second order, the first one erases. Cool. Thank you. If a unit being affected by an order becomes battle shock, that order ceases to affect that unit. Okay. So battle shock is actually becoming a real big thing, and I kind of dig that. So the first one, move it, Mahoney. Oh my God, I went from Starship Troopers to freaking Police Academy. Let's see. Add 3 inches to the move characteristic of the models in this unit. You know what? That's pretty freaking strong. That's if it's a 4-inch move, like some things, it becomes a 6. Mow, 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 wait, mow, 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 ma, dee, dee, mow, 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 ma, dee, mow, ma, dee, dee, mow, 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 ma, dee, dee, mow, 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 ma, dee, dee, mow, 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 ma, dee, dee, mow. I can't figure it out. Anyway, so yeah, an extra 3 inches for an Astra Militarum unit. Does a vehicle count as a unit? I wonder. Ooh. What if a troop carrier? Oh wait, this doesn't come with any troop carriers. Okay, never mind. But it does come with a Sentinel Walker. Oh, Vietnamese for move faster. Okay. All right. So that's kind of cool. I like that. Move it. Come on, you apes. Let's see. Take aim. Improve the ballistic skill characteristic of ranged weapons equipped by model in this unit by 1. Neat. I like that a lot. And take cover. Improve the save characteristic in this unit by 1. This cannot improve the model's save to a better than a 3 plus. You know what though? As long as you're not going against armor piercing stuff, yeah, I'm with that. This is very Apocalypse Now, you know? Because, yeah, I can see that. Take cover! What? Tiger, man? It's a tiger! It is such a tiger, man! No, I'm not getting out of the boat. I'm not getting out of the boat, man. Not getting out of the boat. Would never get out of the boat, man. Never get out of the boat. Freaking tiger! All right. So, let's see here. All right, so what else do we got? Knowing Battle Shock shakes orders is pretty nasty for my Night Lords. Cool. Wait, aren't those the Conrad Kurz guys? Like the dude who wants to be Batman but is a lot more like Dracula? Let's see here. Command Laurels. So your officer is your warlord. Yeah, and what does he get? In your command phase, if the bearer is on the battlefield, you gain 1 command point. Neat. In addition, each time the bearer uses an order, it is issued to all friendly Astra military units on the battlefield? That's how a unit can get 2 orders at once. Okay. All right, I'm definitely with that. So this is really incentivizing activating your leader units first. You know, or no, okay, I'm kind of seeing how that goes. 1 unit gets move it, and then it moves its 3, and then, oh, no, it can't, because this is all during the command phase. So, yeah, activate that guy first, give your units some additional mobility, for move it, except for the ones who are where they need to do, and then you can tell them to take aim. All right, that's not just pretty strong, but it's also pretty useful. I like that. Edgelord Maul Goth Batman. You know, all you have to do is throw in Maul Samurai on top of that. Okay, so let's see. Gunnery Officer. It's an aura. Ooh. You know, I've never served in the military. I'm putting that out there because I know some of you guys have. But I come from a long line of U.S. Marines. That's why I went to college. And the funniest thing I've ever heard a Marine say is, if ever you want to see a Marine scared or run away, because Marines don't retreat, they advance to the rear. But if ever you want to see a Marine retreat, all you got to do is stand by them and have a gunnery sergeant say, hey, watch this. So if you all right, yeah. Okay, rolling. Yeah, so am I right if a gunny says, hey, watch this? Is that when you run? You know, let me know. So let's see here. In your command phase, if the bearer is on the battlefield, you gain 1 CP. All right, so you're just getting command points all over the place. All right, your grandfather was a retired gunnery sergeant, so did you know that something awesome or scary was going to happen when they walked up to you smiling and said, I want to show you something? Or watch this? Or check it out, kid? Let's see. Or was he the stoic sergeant that was just like, you know? Just, hey, Grandpa, I love you. You know, I had one of those. Where it was like, don't you love me, Granddaddy? I cook for you, don't I? Well, yeah. Conversation's over. Okay. Let's see here. In addition, while a friendly artillery unit is within 6 inches of the bearer's unit. Oh, okay. Then each time you roll to determine the number of attacks a model in that artillery unit makes with a weapon, you can re-roll that. Oh. So if this guy is commanding a bunch of regular soldiers, but he's by that sentinel walker or that artillery cannon, if he's standing by it and he's a gunnery sergeant or, you know, a master gunner, that means he can have it re-roll. So yeah, this turn I only get 2 shots this turn. Try again. You know, that's not how we did it on Heartbreak Ridge. You adapt. You improvise. You overcome. You adapt. Okay, so models in artillery unit have lone operative ability if they've not made any attacks yet this battle. Ooh. Now, if I recall lone operative, yeah, they can't be shot until they shoot. Unless, well, remember, lone operative means they can't be targeted unless the offending party, the targeter, is is within 12 inches. Of course, why in the name of all that's holy would you ever get within 12 inches of a cannon? And my answer is Death Corps of Krieg, the Death Corps of Krieg. That's why you would get Clint Eastwood is the quintessential SNCL, right? I mean, I'm not a big fan of a lot of things, but Heartbreak Ridge was one of my favorite movies. Way better than Death Before Dishonor. What? I'm an 80s kid, guys. What do you want? I wonder if GW is ever going to release any current update rules for Sly Marblow. Cause that would be kind of cool. What if they're playing the 1812 Overture? Yeah, that's true. And with that, which army, like which faction in 40K would get Carmina Burana? That's a good question. Would it be the Battle Sisters, the Blood Angels, or the Adeptus Mechanicus? That's a good question. So yeah, I like that. They can't be okay. You know what? These guys need every edge ever because everything I've ever heard. Oh, the Night House. Nice. Yeah, I forgot about the Night Houses. Because the Imperial Knights don't remind me of knights. They remind me of big old robots. So yeah, wait, how many officers come in this thing? Let's see. Shock Troops, 5 models. Armored Sentinel. Oh! Okay, so Squad Karsk. 10 models. Okay, so who's the captain? Like, who's the officer here? I don't know who the officer is. Maybe it says so on the other page. Nope, it doesn't. Who's the officer? I mean, that's a guy with I'm guessing that guy. Oh, the veteran guardsman. Oh, okay, I guess. Okay, what? Your officer model. Who's the officer model? I guess that's A. I guess that's that guy. So where's A? That's what I need to. Yeah, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Field Ordnance Battery, Armored Sentinel. Yeah, the character cards are further down. So let's take a look. Cause yeah, I'm not seeing this. Boop boop. Okay, voice commander. Okay, so oh, that's the command squad, Karsk. So is everyone in here a commander? All models are the okay. All right. Oh my God. So there's an officer for every single unit. All right. So these guys are all your officers. He's an officer. He is an officer. He is an officer. He is an officer. And he's definitely an officer because he's got that look. All right. Cool. So let's move on. Yeah, it is hard to see at a glance, which I guess is an advantage. I guess that's an advantage for the Imperial Guard, because let's face it, that's very much Apocalypse Now. Hey son, who's in charge here? Ain't you? I don't know. Let's see. So yeah, I can definitely see that. So yeah, and I make a lot of jokes for Starship Troopers and stuff when it comes to those guys, because the infantry was very much based. Well, either the mobile infantry from Starship Troopers in the movie was based on Cadian shock troopers, or Cadian shock troopers were based on them. Personally, from what I've looked at, I like the Lawrence of Arabia guys, and I really like the Death Corps of Krieg. I really like those guys. I think those guys are neat. Um, just a bunch of I don't care anymore. I'm here to die. I can totally see them in their gas masks going, "Oh, do I see my brothers? Oh, do I see there? Oh, do I see there? I know you're thinking Space Wolves because they're the Vikings, but that's just what that prayer would sound like if you were wearing a gas mask. Either that or looking at everyone in the army asking whether or not they've seen your mummy. Have you seen my mummy? Have you seen my mummy? If you know, you know. But if you don't know, have you? Have you seen my mummy? Are you my mummy? Um, yeah, the Taran Desert Raiders. I do like those guys, like a lot. I think those guys are cool. So let's see. So far, what I can see is a lot of support with these guys. A lot of um, yeah, I see a lot of with these guys. Uh, a lot of a lot of command point generation, and you either say, "Hey, shoot that guy a lot," or or you give one order to the whole army and then let their officers go. You know what? Um, I see what the sergeant's trying to do, but he's wrong. We're gonna move, type of thing. So yeah. So one of those two. I dig it. I think it's very well put together. Next faction. Let's take a look. They're not suicidal. They just see themselves as worthless, useless. Um, they can serve. They're worthless unless they can serve the emperor. Is there a difference? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's like, I must serve the emperor. If I do not serve the emperor, then my life has no meaning. I guess, but yeah, I don't know. In my head canon, they just have a big old case of the screw-its. Just a bunch of angry gas mask guys. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah. Who else? Yeah, the doctor is calling, and I would love to see a box set for the Battle of Talarn, Astra Militarum versus Iron Warriors. Um, that's interesting. Now, aren't the Iron Warriors Ferris Manus, or are those Peter Turbo? Who, by the way, is one of my favorite Primarchs. A suicidal troop is a danger to himself and everyone around him. A troop who's worthless unless he can accomplish something will do whatever it takes to do the job. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess that's true. I come from the super old school of of military thinking, which is nothing wrong with being a coward. Cowards go home. Like, you can talk crap on the cowards outside of, at the bar or something like that, but those who serve and who grew up under fire know that being scared is the main way to make sure you get home. You know, it's like the brave ones, yeah, they go out for medals. The cowards, they go out for beer or coffee after they make it home from not getting their butts shot off. So, yeah, Iron Hands are Ferris Manus. Iron Warriors are Perturabo. You know, again, these Games Workshop naming conventions, why is it just iron? Why not steel or platinum? Or don't they have like that one those two metals that the Space Marine armor is made out of? I think it's ceramite and like the other thing. Oh, okay, it was the 80s and they were stoned. All right, you know what? Thank you. Thank you. I get it. I understand. I understand now. It was the 80s and they were all intoxicated. Let's see here. Uh-huh. Oh, they're just Trader Iron Hands. Okay. Cool. Well, so let's go to the next faction, and now we get into them. And when I say them, I mean them. Let's take a look at their pictures, because now we're in the Space Marine area. Oh, Space Marine areas. So, we start with the Black Templar. You know, I love that. Have you prayed today? I'm praying now. Too late. Brat, brat. You know, that's what I hear about them. And they look pretty cool, I guess. I mean, oh, look, a hover tank. Haven't Games Workshop been pushing that hover tank on like everybody forever? Yeah, they're notched in multiple books as having a distinct bad scent. Okay, yeah, I can see that. All right, so Sigard's Crusaders. Oath of Moment. At the start of your command phase, select one unit from your opponent's army. Until the start of your next command phase, that enemy unit is your Oath of Moment target. Each time model with this ability makes an attack roll that targets your Oath of Moment target, you can re-roll the hit roll. Okay. All right. That is so straightforward. Oh my God. Why can't all of these special rules be like this? At least written like that. So it's, nope, it's him. Everybody, everybody. Whole army, entire army. Not just a unit, but the entire army. Yep, that includes you too. That includes you too, Mike. Everybody. Not just the main command. No, what part of everybody aren't you getting? Again, oh, you got here a little late, old Two Wise. Working on, I am also painting on the, on my proxies for the Wind Riders, for the Eldari box set, because every single time I try and teach someone how to play, Grimdark Future or any other, tabletop war game that I play, they always want to play the elves. So since we're doing this experiment and I have hundreds of models, I'm like, oh, what I don't have are Wind Riders. So check out the social media links, like Deckers on the Book, like the Twitter, like the Instagram, because once these things are finished being painted, I'm going to be doing a photo shoot of all of the Combat Patrol armies that I have. Okay? Just like 2 to 3 pictures each, but yeah, there's a lot. I would look them up in the book right now, but we're doing this and I've already been going for 90 minutes. So let's see. But yeah, Oaths of Moment, dude, I'm with it. I am absolutely with it. Just, all right, everybody, get him. I missed him, sir. Do it again. Okay. I'll give it a second shot. Hey, I hit him this time. Good job. You know, there's nothing wrong with that rifle. I can't help it, sir. The weapon is all messed up. Let me see that bolt gun. Plap, plap, plap. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that bolt gun. You keep it tight. You know? And now, what does the commander get? He comes stock standard with Crusader's Fervor. And that's add 1 to the attack characteristic of the melee weapons. Okay. So that's get up in their face and make chaos stop being chaotic with the power of your fist or your chainsword. All right. You know what? That is nice and straightforward. It's one of the reasons I was thinking about playing the World Eaters. That's really straightforward. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of shenanigans on that. I like that. As I said yesterday, I was thinking about playing the Ultramarines when I first got started, and my friends pretty much mocked me out of it, and so I chose the Iron Hands. But did I choose the Iron Hands? You know, Rogel Dorn's folks. So yeah, most of my Space Marines are yellow. And yeah. But, you know, shenanigans and shenanigans, just the whole idea of, hey, go up, hit him hard. Hit him twice. Why not? Oh, So it's a +1 to hitting them in the face, and then you put that with Oaths of Moment, and then boom, you get to keep doing that. All right. So let's see. Or Righteous Defiance. Now, real talk, y'all. This is almost a you had me at hello. That is a great name. Righteous Defiance. Okay? That is freaking cool. All right? I don't care what people think. It's like, what do you got? I have come to the battle with righteous defiance. Yes, I am here with righteous defiance. You know, fact, if ever I own a firearm, I think that's what I'm going to name it. You know, but I've never named a pet that. So if I ever get another cat, my cat will not be named Righteous Defiance because, you know, it's important that my cats do things. So Eldar equals elves, Dark Eldar equal Dark Elves is an easy one, but I've always liked the comparison Eldar equals 90s anime, Tau equals 2000s anime. You know what? I like that. I do like that. Because, yeah, Eldar 90s anime, but 2000s anime, yeah, it's definitely, well, actually, no, because mecha and all of that stuff, that's been a staple in anime since the 70s, bruh. You know, the first Mobile Suit Gundam came out in like 78. So let's see. The bearer has Feel No Pain, 5 up. In addition, once per battle, when the bearer's unit is selected as the target of an attack, it can use this ability. If it does, until the end of the phase, models in the bearer's unit have Feel No Pain 4+. Wow. Wow. So essentially, they're just they just specialize in not dying. They either make evil stop being evil with their fist, or he can choose the ability to once per game go, that's not a knife, that's a knife. Or, you know, what it's I like to compare it to fighting against a 5-year-old, you know? When a 5-year-old is like, I hate you, you're not my real family, and starts like swinging wildly, and you put your hand on their forehead and they're still trying to charge at you. Y'all know what I'm talking about. No? Just me? Okay. Well, hey, it's a thing. Might be just me. But yeah, so, and that's what that looks like. That's what a 4-up Feel No Pain is. Heaven forbid they have invulnerable saving throws, because at that point you just don't hit them. You just don't hit them at that point, you know. So they either stay there and they last forever, or all right. Well, you know, there's a lot of stuff here, that's helping them stay alive. Does that help with objective control? I mean, I'm not really seeing them go, this is our place, but then maybe I'm thinking like an Imperial Fist. I don't know. Like, you know, this area is mine. There are many areas like it, but this one is mine. Without me, this area is useless. Without this area, I'm useless, type of thing. So yeah. So the Black Templar, one, from what I hear, of the most beloved armies out there. So we'll see. If you can kill them, you can. If you can't kill them, you can't take their ground. I don't know. Conrad Kurz does a whole lot of ground taking and not a whole lot of killing. So moving on. So let's see. Let's see what you guys think. The only downside to playing Black Templar is that when you bring them out, people will wonder if you're a fan of World War II Germans or those types love Krieg and Templar. Oh. Hey, Neo Noober. How you doing? Okay, yeah, the planet broke before the guard. You know, a friend of mine actually had Katie Stans as nail polish, and I asked them, "Hey, does your manicure mean that you'll break before your nails do?" And they're like, "Ha ha 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 ha! Shut up, noob! You don't play the game." I'm like, "But I read the books. I look at the video. I look at your videos. You know." Yeah. So, but yeah. All right. So Yeah, these Black Templar, again, Oaths of Moment, nice and simple. Crusader's Favor, I hit harder. Righteous Defiance, you can't bring me down. Bring me down. All right, so that's cool. All right, but let's see who's next. Let's see who's next. Ooh. Now, these guys, the next ones, okay? The next ones that we're doing have one of my favorite Space Marine models. Now, I'm not going to lie, since I don't play this game, I can't tell the difference between Gravis or Phobos or Intercessor I don't even remember the names of all yeah, I hit harder versus hit me harder. Um yeah, I don't know the names of all the different types of Space Marine armor, and real talk, I am so factionist. I'm owning that. I'm a very factionist player in the sense of all Space Marines look the same to me right now. Except for two very distinct model types. Okay. The first distinct model type that I can tell the difference all the time, especially from the board, are Neon, I thought it, but I didn't say it because I want to keep this PG-13. Maybe you should follow my example. Um, Either way. Um, so yeah. But one like irrefutably different Space Marine army, or Space Marine armor type that I can tell that I really kind of like are the Terminators. Okay, the Terminators are really cool. At least the new ones. The old ones kind of silly. And I guess a friend of mine told me that the Terminators initially were made for the Space Hulk board game and then the Space Hulk video game, and then they were kind of hammerlocked into the tabletop game, which makes all the sense. So yeah, so I like the Terminator armor, but these next guys actually have an armor type that I like. And here we are, the Strike Force Marcellos, or the Blood Angels. And there it is, right there, the aggressor armor. I don't know what it is about it. I think it might be the really big hands. Look at the hat. Oh my God, they're just such big hands. I don't know what it is, but I really like the aggressor armor. Although I don't really like the mask. I would like it a lot more if it was just like a piece of glass, kind of like the ones from the AdMech. But yeah, I incursor armor. Okay, those are incursors, those are intercessors. I can't tell the difference between the armors, and I will probably need a friend to point all that stuff out at a different time. Maybe it's the crab claw chainsaw. Maybe actually, it's kind of the egg profile, the egg silhouette. I don't know what it is. Okay, so they get Oaths of Moments. I'm guessing that's just a Space Marine thing. Okay, well, Oaths of Moment again. Hit him again. Hit him again. Um, let's see. Now, the Librarian gets improve armor penetration characteristic of melee weapons equipped by models in the bear's unit by one. Okay, so all of them get an AP plus one. Cool. And Radiant Wrath. Ooh. Now, I do study the lore, but help me out. Aren't these the guys that sort of are vampires and then they kind of go crazy thinking that they are their Primarch Sanguinius and they're fighting Horus, but really they're just like beating up a toaster or something like that? Um, so let's see. Both of the bearer's smite weapons, smite weapon profiles have anti-monster 5 up and anti-vehicle ability 5 up. All right, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. So I guess it's they can pretty much say, guess what? We're going to be monster hunters this game, which I guess is kind of neat. Yeah, monster hunters or tank busters. I guess that's kind of neat. In the sense of, you know, um if I'm playing a game against somebody that has like, oh, okay. I know the Chaos Space Marines ones come with a Hellbrute, and there's a lot of, well, there's essentially a lot of walkers in this game, or in the combat patrols, so walkers and tanks. Um and definitely monsters, because Tyranids are a thing and they don't have vehicles. They just have other bugs that grow so big they just ride on the back on while, saying which is Tyranid for Jai Halud, Jai Halud. Um so okay, I guess I can deal with that. These guys are hunters. All right, that makes sense. So, seems okay. I like the red. I like the colors of the models, but I don't really see myself playing with these guys. But since I do love proxies, I will most likely end up at least testing these guys out. Again, if y'all want to know what my thoughts on all this stuff is after we play, or after I test out all of them, you guys are going to have to sign up for the Patreon. That stuff is going on the Patreon, because I need more, I need more subscribers because my bills are going up, and Patreon really incentivizes me to do more stuff for YouTube. And that's something I got to do, guys. I got to do it. My finances are saying, hey, you need to pay more attention to Patreon. And of course, my patrons are like, thank you. We've been really patient with you for all this time, and I appreciate it. So if you guys are up for it, just head down to patreon.com/BID_P and sign up for as little as $1. But please make it a $5. And that will definitely help me out, especially when it comes to making the content that I'm trying to make and get out into the world. All right. So let's move on to the next one, because the Blood Angels, yeah, I'm really feeling. What do we got? We got Chaos Demons coming up next. Yeah, I like it. Hang on, what? All right. So what program am I using here? What is this? Oh, Acrobat Pro. Cool. There we go. Cool. So, Chaos Demons. Chaos Demons are coming up next. Yeah. Chaos AD. All right. So, oh my God. Yes, I just made a reference to 1990s death metal, okay? Again, that's how I roll. I was an angry teenager. Okay. So, the Butchers of Hyporia. Cool, Chaos Demons. So this looks like Chaos Unaligned. Let's okay, Bloodletters. Dogs. A lot of Bloodletters. A lot of dogs. A lot. Okay. Guys, real talk. Is it just me? Or does this army seem kind of corny to you? I might need to get like a bowl of milk or something. This says Chaos Demons, and I normally don't make these kind of distinctions. I normally don't care, but there's already one for World Eaters. So, what's up with like unaligned Chaos Demons? What's going on with that? We already took a look at some of the codexes, so I can say this stuff without spoilers. But I know the Thousand Sons have all of the Xanagors, like all of them. So yeah. But yeah, so this is really corny here. Is it because the World Eaters don't come with a whole bunch of demons or what? I mean, just when I think like Chaos starter set, cool, Chaos Demons. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have this army. I printed it up for Grimdark Future. So I've got the demons. I've got, let's see, that's a set of 5 dogs. So yeah, I got 10 dogs. I got the dudes riding the dogs, and I also got a leader. So yeah, I got, all right, fine. It's really So, Butchers of Hyporia. All right, well, let's see what they got. Well, let's see who they are. Okay, because let's check out this corny army. Certain areas of the battlefield are considered to be within your army's shadows of chaos. Wait, certain areas of the battlefield, okay, are considered to be, yes, within your army's shadow of chaos. All right, so they cast a shadow of chaos, and here is what the crap that means. All right, thank you. That's what I needed to know. Your deployment zone is always within your army's shadow of chaos. Ah, but does your shadow of chaos count as your deployment zone? At the start of any phase, um, yeah, at the start of any phase, if you control at least half of the objective markers within No Man's Land, until the end of that phase, No Man's Land is within your army's shadow of chaos. Okay, fine. At the start of any phase, if you control at least half of the objective markers, um, within your opponent's okay. So if you control half the objective markers in any particular area, that is your shadow of chaos area. Great. Woo! Cool. I get it. What does it do? Well, let's just keep going. While a unit from your army is within your shadow of chaos, each time that unit takes a battle shock test, add 1 to that test. If it's passed, one model in that unit regains up to D3 lost wounds. If that unit is battle line, standard infantry, and that test is passed, up to D3 destroyed models can be. What? Okay, you know what? I'm with it. That's really cool. Okay, yeah, that actually makes these guys really worth playing. Because, yeah, if you do control the board, you can just keep respawning. That is, yeah, that says to me, demonic horde. 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 You know, I like that. Um, while an enemy unit is within your army's shadow of chaos, each time they take battle shock, subtract 1. And if that test is failed, they suffer D3 mortal wounds. Okay, you know what? I'm okay with that. That is actually, you know what? These guys are actually worth playing. I like that. I'm serious. I like that a lot. Um, just the idea of this part of the area is ours. It is ours. You know, and hang glider. If you cut off our heads, more will come in its place. Because we're evil. That's just what we do. We're evil and we're demonic. And you can't kill us. You got to banish us. But you don't know how to banish. You know, and I really do like that. Let's see. Xanagors are mutants, strictly speaking, rather than demons. They're more like the Death Guard Poxwalker zombie guys. Yeah, I get it. I get it. But, like, I get what they are in definition and in theme, but the army is called the Chaos Demons. So you would think there would be some of those, like, Zinchian things that are big flying mantises with teeth, like with toothing maw, or maybe some of I don't know what the yeah, I mean, you know, you got those things. And what are the Zinchian demons that aren't Xanagor? I mean, don't they have some kind of demon things that aren't Xanagor? Um, and I know Korn's got Nurglings, and that's kind of fun. Yeah, the horrors. Yeah, horrors. You know, yeah. I mean, what was last time I looked at this game? They had the horrors. You know, why not just a unit of the pink horrors? You know, that's kind of fun. You know, like a unit of pink horrors and the flying manta ray things, and you know, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that they could throw. They could throw in there. You know, uh, um, I'm talking about the flying manta rays that essentially have a melta on them. I've seen them on battle reports. Um, Yeah, yeah. Oh, the flamers of yeah. Like why not? Some flamers of Zinch. Some of those. I mean, Nurgle has some stuff like that too, right? Like why not? Like I'm not. I'm feeling okay. Yeah, they're demons, but they're red demons. They're the kind of demons that if my grandma saw the box, it wouldn't be allowed in her house because it's a devil. So yeah, I mean, yeah, screamers. Thank you, Neon. Yeah, throw in a unit of screamers. Throw in some pink horrors. Of course, you can leave the demon dogs in and nurglings, bloatflies. Yeah, you see what I mean? Um, yeah, you can throw in some nurglings, some bloatflies. There was probably a start collecting box in the past with it. So yeah, demonettes. Yeah, exactly. Throw in some raisinets for her. So you know, took us to Baskin and Robbins and said you can only get strawberry. Exactly. Exactly. That's it. Just strawberry. But there are 31 flavors. 32, if you know where to look. If you ask the question. And they just said, yeah, ice cream. That's all you get. You get strawberry. But what about like Maple Nut Crunch and Jamocha Almond Fudge and Rainbow Sherbet? Nope. You get strawberry. But I like chocolate. Then you shouldn't be at Baskin and Robbins. I mean that's kind of what this feels like. But I do very much like that ability. The Shadow of Dread. So yeah, go on, respawn. That's very cool. That is very cool. Now let's see what the Bloodmaster gets. Bloodmaster. While the bearer is leading a unit, melee weapons equipped by this model in that unit have the lethal hits ability. Okay, yeah. That's that literally is stop hitting like a human. This is how a demon hits, which, for a corn demon or yeah, for a corn demon. All right, I see it. I see it. I see it. I appreciate it. Um Again, this looks really fun to play. Um, but really kind of disappointing to my theme sensibilities. I mean, I was kind of looking forward to Demons of Chaos. What do the demons have to show? How can we mix this up? And I just got corn. And don't get me wrong, I like corn. Corn would probably be the demon that buys my soul if I worked at a manufactorum, you know? Yeah, let's be, I probably want to get recruited by Corn and end up in Nurgle's camp. Um, I think that's the way demons work. You need a bigger army to have different kinds. Maybe. I mean, you might be right on that, Neon. Um, so yeah, that's a possibility. Let's move on. Oh, he has a second one. Warp Locust. It's an aura. The area of the battlefield within 3 inches of the bearer is considered to be within your army's Shadow of Chaos. All right, it's really pushing the Shadow of Chaos thing, and I kind of dig it. Now that I know that the Shadow of Chaos is like, hey, if you're standing over here, come on back to life. Or, no, we don't bring them back to life. We just summon more. We just summon more out of the warp. And it's like, sorry, what? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Dude, we're warp demons. We're like all over the place. There's can never get rid of all of us. So yeah, we're here. What's up? What's going on? Somebody call for backup. All right, oh wow, it's quitting time, isn't it? Yeah. All right, thanks, Neon. Who knows? Maybe when you get to where you're going, you can turn it back on, and I'll still be here going through these things. Because unfortunately, guys, I'm working. Thursday or Friday. So yeah, I'll be let's see. Which means yeah, I won't be broadcasting for one of these days. And if we're doing this here, I'm still going to want to go over the stratagems. All right? And then this weekend, I really plan on playing as many games as possible. Or battle reporting as many games as possible, doing interviews with veteran players. Like, this is going to be big because I'm trying to get this done. I'm trying to get some stuff out on YouTube quickly while the Combat Patrol is still out there and before Games Workshop does anything else that's going to be worth note, good or bad, because there's no such thing as bad publicity, just bad publicists. Um, and I also am gonna, um, and again, I'm gonna play the game. I'm gonna talk to some veteran players that I have access to over the weekend. So I want to put out a lot of content. I really do. But I want the content to be good. So you and I are going over all of this over the course of the week. Then I'm going to go to work because life gets in the way, and that's part of learning a new game and being a gamer. All right, that is actually part of the experience. So that's what we're doing, and then we get to talk about it and all that stuff. All right. So yeah, let's see. So now that we've done all that, I am getting a little tired, but we're not taking a break. In the words of one of my favorite songs from Dr. Demento, such predicaments, we forge ahead. Walking down the road today, doo-dah, doo-dah. So yeah, we're going through. I'm actually, if you're wondering what I'm painting on, I got this guy, which is from One Page Rules. This is a Tri-Walker, okay? And this guy is the One Page Rule equivalent of the Scorptech, Tri-Walker, which was the last piece I needed to completely have finished the Necrons command patrol, okay, or combat patrol. So I had some spiders that I could have proxied for it, but you know what? I have the resin. Since I'm part of the Patreon, I've had the file forever, so I'm like, you know what? I'm making one, okay? And again, all this stuff that I'm doing, I can also put together these teams in Grimdark Future and play the game that I already know and like. So this is like a double win. This is like a win-win. Because, sometimes I just want to play a game. And I do have to keep in mind that there are some games that are easier to teach than others. Okay? So, 40K does not seem like an easy game to learn so far. Just because there's so much homework. Like so much. I've been studying the lore and watching battle reports for 2 years already. And I'll tell you guys honestly, it's helped. It's helped a lot for me to pick up the game quickly because I've seen it played so much. But I don't know. I'm going to reserve any thoughts until I actually play a game. What I hear from the Warhammer community is you can't really say anything until you've played 100 games. And I'm going, no. No, 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 no. No. If that's the case, we're talking bad game design. Because by the time you do anything 50 times, it's habit. All right? It's just, it is habit. Did you guys know all you have to do is the same thing every day for 21 consecutive days, and it's a habit. That's all it takes to make or break a habit. So 100 games, that means you won't have any idea whether or not you like this game until you've been playing for a year, and by then you're already locked in. It's habit. It's what you've become comfortable with. But I want joy, not just comfort. So that's a real big thing that I'm coming from. Let's see. So yeah, that is a really, really big thing. And okay, it does require owning the Savage World RPG core book. That's one book, Cyberdrake. One book, so $30 to $50 investment is fine. I'm fine with that for any game. All right. And I mean that. Any game whatsoever, I'm good with $50 in. That's just, since the 5 is the new one, it's the equivalent of spending $10 when I was a kid. And RPGs are different because all you need is the core book, and you can entertain yourself and your friends for years as long as you can make stuff up. So that's big. Let's see. I got a text message here and a missed call. And okay. Yep. Got to pay my auto insurance. It's that time of the month. Mm. So yeah. All right. And yeah, on PDF $10 plus another $10. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, there is that. No, we are not turning this into an advertisement for Savage World, Cyber Drake. We're talking about 40K right now. Let's see here. What else? So let's move on. This next group. Now this is interesting. This next group is interesting because I started 3D printing my proxies for this army, and the main person that I game with was like, oh, yeah, I didn't have to do this one thing for one of my machines, so I decided to make some bad choices. So this next one is Chaos Marines. Now, I hear these guys are really what everybody wanted, okay? And I mean that. That's what I hear. I hear that these guys are what everybody wanted the Space Marines to be. Now, I see the lore, all right? I look at the lore for Space Marines, and how can I put this? As a new player who has never played, one of the reasons that I didn't choose my faction based on the lore in this game, which is why I haven't really chosen a faction. It comes down to one, I repeat, one major concept. And that is, no, I don't care that there's like 400 books. I don't even care that the Space Marines are the Mary Sues, okay? But what I do kind of have a hard time with is that every single book suffers the comic book problem, which is, except for the Space Marines. The Space Marines are the favorite sons, right? But one of the things I don't like is kind of my problem with Marvel Cosmic, and Dark Horse, and a few other companies, which is everything that's on the table at any time. Let's go back to the office for this. Everything on the table at any particular time is the most powerful weapon in existence, the most blah 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 in existence. Now, I understand intrinsically and entirely that 40K and their fiction is a lot like the Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix, which is, it is a story or a series of stories told from fanatical, unreliable narrators. Okay? I understand it. I get it. I see it. I see you. All right? So I don't want anybody saying, yeah, but you see, you got to understand it. No. As a new player who isn't part of this stuff, having talked to people over the years, everything is faction. Like, this faction is bigger than this one. This faction can win. And then when I look at the books, it's whoever the book is about is the most powerful until the Space Marines show up, including the Chaos Marines. And I'm like, well, if the Space Marines can beat anything except the Custodes, which are Space Marines plus, why is there any other thing? And then I realized, oh, wait, the Imperium of Man is a fascist organization. And, all right, I'm going to get a little real with y'all, all right? One of the tenets of fascism is my least favorite flavor of gaslighting. All right? This is real. Under fascism or gaslighting, the emotional abuse that comes with it is the thing that you're dealing with is both the scariest and biggest unbeatable threat there is in the world, yet always not as powerful as you. All right? So it's kind of one of those, oh my god, it's the barbarians at the gate thing. All right, barbarians are here and they're dumb and they're disorganized and they're uncivilized, but they'll kill us all. And it's like, well, if they're inferior in every way but they're still a threat, that causes doublethink, and doublethink is one of the greatest ways to just short circuit. Okay. um it's the same thing of someone calling you useless all the time, or always saying what you can't do, and then accusing you of hurting them or being mean all the time. You see what I mean? It's contradictory in thought. So yes, exactly. Gaslighting is fascist tactics enjoyed by private individuals. So um so when the Chaos Marines came out, it's like, oh my god, the Chaos Marines, they're such a big threat, blah 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 blah. But every piece of fiction I saw, the Chaos Marines never won. They never won. But everybody I talked to was like, no, man, they should be all this because they've been in the warp, they're demon touched. They were Space Marines at one time, and then they got enhancements. And I'm like, oh, all right. And so, from what I hear, way back in the days of Rogue Traders, they were more powerful than Space Marines. But time happened, Space Marines became the favorite sons, one, two, skip a few, all that jazz. So, okay. Um, so I was making up my proxies for these guys. And then my friend was like, I made a bad decision. And I'm like, oh, what bad decision? And he, told me, yeah, I bought this because it was on sale. So I'm like, okay. All right. So let's take a look here. And don't get me wrong, these guys look cool, and I really like that guy. The Hellspawn, or what is that thing called? That thing is called the Hellbrute. Yeah, brute. All right. And this dude here with the book and the two little guys, I'm like, yeah, all right, this is good. I can play with this. And again, since I'm making up these armies and I'm going to eventually make every single set in time, this is going to be a long, dark time. Um, I started doing it, and the main person I play with bought this for themselves. So I'm like, okay, I guess I can put that one on the back burner until further notice. All right, so there's that. So let's take a look. They have Dark Pact. All right, so what's up with the Dark Pact? So the Dark Pact is each time a unit from your army is selected to shoot or fight, it can make a Dark Pact. And if it does, select one of the following abilities that the unit's hang on. That the unit's weapon to gain for the unit's weapon to gain until the end of the phase. Okay. All right, so let's see. It either gets lethal hits or sustain hits. So auto wound or another hit. I like the flexibility of this because sometimes there's something that you're going to hit, and sometimes there's something that you're going to need to really put a hurt on. So I guess that's good for crowd sweeping, and yeah, crowd sweeping, like taking out a bunch of weak dudes, or a tank buster. All right. So they can either be and each unit can choose this every time because they can make a Dark Pact. That's pretty much how I'm going to say it. It's just a thing. All right. So, ooh, good luck with the Mech Warrior thing, man. We'll get to BattleTech one of these days. Let's see here. Who else? And what do... All right, so your Dark Apostle is your warlord and has Hateful Exhortation. All right, that is just a cool way to say that. Hateful Exhortation. Where's my mouse? Oh, there it is. Hateful Exhortation. That is really good. All right, I'm like, yeah, why is this not working? Okay, at the start of the first battle round, select an enemy unit. Until the end of the battle, each time a model in the bearer's unit makes an attack against that target enemy unit on a critical rune, improve the armor penetration characteristic attack by +1. Okay, so it's a lot like Oh the Moments, but instead of re-rolling the hit, it's hit that guy harder. That guy. You know, there's a lot of that guy abilities in this, I'm saying. Okay. So yeah, hit that guy harder. And feel no pain, 5 up. All right. All right. So let's see. Where are we in this list? Because there's a lot. Oh my God, I haven't even made it halfway. How many are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. All right. So we're going to get to 13 and then we're going to stop. Okay. And where am I at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, maybe, you know what? We're going to stop here. Okay, we're going to stop here with the Chaos Marines because I still have stuff to do in the day today. But tell you guys what, tomorrow we're going to continue this, and I'm going to get on earlier. We're normally here at 3, but if you guys want to see the second part to this, where we finish up the remaining armies, keep your thing posted because I might come in as early as 1 tomorrow to finish this up because we've been here for 2 hours, and I've only gotten 8 or 9 of 25 in. All right, but I want to thank you guys for being here because this is a lot and I still have a lot of other things that I have to take care of. Serious thanks to all you guys that have been in the chat, talking to me and helping me out with these rules and stuff like that. I'm really looking forward to playing my first game. Okay, that's going to be fun. At least playing my first game with someone else. I am me. I do what I do, which means I'll be goldfishing for a little bit. Only because, again, I'm stuck in the teacher's position most of the time. And that is, if I bring new people in, they're going to be asking me questions like I've been playing this game for 20 or 30 years. So, I have to be a little bit ahead of them with some of the rules that are more difficult. And that also means, unfortunately, that I'm going to have to crack into the regular rule book and read some of the rules, see if I understand them, go through a couple of scenarios or go through a couple of examples and then compare those examples to any questions I find online to see if there's been any erratas or anything like that. There's a lot to this. And so far, it's a lot. This is so far, 40K is looking like a game that's fun once you know what you're doing. But it seems like it's taking a lot to find out what I'm doing. So this learning curve is a little steep. I'm not going to lie. We've been talking about this stuff. This is the 3rd consecutive day. With a lot of other games that I've learned, I'd be on like my 10th game by now. It wasn't like this with Gaslands. But who knows? Maybe this is just a different level of complexity, you know. So I'm not going to compare Gloomhaven to Sorry. All right. Some games are just more complicated than others. So that's what we're going to take a look at. But I do need a break because my brain is kind of going thwop, 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 thwop. And I might have to go to the bathroom. I'll find out when I stand up. So with that, guys, I want to thank you. Like, seriously, I want to thank you for showing up. I want to thank you for putting up with me through this. And if you guys want to get a hold of me or talk to stuff, you can always hit me up on the Discord. Or you can reach out to me on Deckers on the Book. Like, where do you get that? Well, that's easy. you pull up your keyboard and type in back in the deck at gmail.com. That's BACKINTHEDECK at gmail.com. You can also hit me up on yeah, you can also totally totes hit me up on hang on. Yeah, there we go. Hit me up on Twitter and Instagram and all the other social medias that are out there. You can also hit me up over on TikTok at BidP. Once I get all this stuff done, there will be pictures and, you know, maybe even a reel or so of all the stuff I've been painting and putting up in preparations for this. I got to do the whole photo shoot thing because, you know, what used to be considered professional is now what every 15-year-old does, which means that is what the new standard is. So I have a lot of work ahead of me, as though I don't have to take care of my home and all of that jazz. So adulthood is interesting, but I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. So thank you guys for showing up here with me today. And so far, like I said, this is a journey, and given how much is in the front of this, I can see why a lot of people don't want to stray from the path once they get here, because this is a lot. There is a lot on this path, but we will see. We will absolutely see how the rest of this stuff goes as time moves on. So I'm looking forward to this. As I said, I'm looking forward to playing my very first game. Honestly, I might be looking forward to playing like 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 of the new games. So we'll see how that goes. But I have a bunch of painting in front of me. I got to do dishes. I should definitely eat something. All right. But thank you guys for letting me know. And if you, like me, have come across people that have told you that you can't like what you like or be part of a community because of the circumstances of your birth, be it race, religion, creed, gender identity, sexual orientation, disability, neurodivergency, or your budget, because we all know that the trailer park ain't never too far from the hood. All right, if you know, you know, and I'm pretty sure y'all know. You can tell those people to take those cards and put them back in the deck. I'm Solar Gray, the Cinematic Sorcerer, saying thank you for joining me today, and I will see you next time on the dark side of the room.